kindergartner the day after. And so I walked this little kid, he's like this big, and I'm holding his hand and I'm like, where are your shoes? And he's like, I don't want to wear my shoes. And they were like, we tried. It's walking out.
All right.
Shoes. He's like, they hurt my feet. I was like, I'm sorry, buddy. That's
Well, how about put them on?
It was so
You put your feet in the tub with the glass.
And that stretching.
Form right.
Listen, he was not interested in the moment, Jeff. He just knew that he was not wearing shoes at school that day. I'm sorry. Yep. There's some battles you just can't fight.
It's 6 o'clock.
All right, 6 o'clock. We are open. We're recording twice. I would motion to table the examination of the meeting minutes for March 16th until our next meeting. As they are not here. Discussion,
Second,
all in favor?
I,
Aye.
I tried to slip all the meetings through to him.
Audience participation. Okay, department reports, town administration.
Sure. So first item on there is budget and finance stuff.
Okay,
So it is that time of year again. So we're looking to do some reserve fund transfers with the finance committee on Wednesday. You should have a list in front of you of the proposed transfers. I've also pulled them up on the screen here, though I know they're probably a little small for everyone. Let's see if I can. It seems to be about as big as it'll get, so there we go. So first item on there is town hall utilities. Obviously, Eversource bills continue to be ridiculously high. So we're looking to transfer 5,000 to that account to just shore us up through the end of the year.
okay,
Library expenses, it's a similar story with fuel costs. So we're looking to plug that hole with $2,000. And then the big one here is vocational education. So
yeah,
so we had a student who applied on time but did not actually accept until September.
okay,
So we sort of,
yeah,
we hedged on the side of them not accepting, they did accept.
got it,
So there's that gap.
okay,
Now, we don't have to necessarily pay that out of reserve fund, like that bill will not come due until May. We could look at you doing a year-end transfer. So it's really kind of just a judgment call,
okay.
if we want to pay it out of a reserve fund or not.
So what is the full benefit of paying out of reserve? It's,
Well, it's just a judgment call.
Okay. It's gonna roll, reserve rolls over and general fund rolls over, right?
Yeah,
Okay, to free cash. So either way, it's basically coming out of the same pot. It's just what,
yeah.
Okay.
So your reserve fund, I mean, it's more restrictive in what you can
yeah,
use it for, but yeah.
and it might be difficult to find the 18. We'll probably be piecemealing it.
And then highway vehicle fuel, similar story here. We've just used more gas than expected, basically. And Hilltown Community Ambulance. So this is a new one as of today. So just wanted to give you the background here. Essentially, the state has mandated what's called a non-public ambulance trust fund assessment. So anything that's not a government-run ambulance service gets assessed, a certain amount of money based on calls, et cetera. And I'm waiting on Hilltown to actually get us that data, and I know they'll be here next week. So
Okay.
hopefully they'll be able to speak to this. So the question is here, do we want to pay this out of our reserve fund now? Or wait to hear Hilltown's basically explanation for it? Because I'm assuming we're in the same boat as a lot of other towns where we didn't budget for this, obviously, because it didn't exist. And it's not clear that we should be picking up the tab necessarily and not somebody else. So
Who would somebody else be? The state?
well, no, I'm just saying, we haven't had any kind of transparency on how this number was arrived at. We've just gotten a bill from them.
is this the same amount for all towns that participate?
I don't even have that information. I literally got the bill today.
And I would.
We'll wait on it.
And wait.
Okay.
Okay,
Second.
I don't think we need a motion for it yet, because we're not.
This is actually all the finance committee's call. I'm just.
Okay, yeah,
I'm just, yeah,
Okay,
okay.
yeah, everything else looks good. Question, Mary?
How much? Oh, $5,000. I got it. I was looking on the wrong page.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
The amount requested. Got it. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. All right, so we'll move forward with those on Wednesday with the finance committee. Two real quick grant things, district local technical assistance. So this is funding from PVPC. I got the word last week from Ira that they are looking at funding the shared conservation agent.
Oh, great.
So it's, the idea would basically be sharing an agent with Hamden.
Okay, that's a haul.
So we gotta find somebody who lives in like Springfield.
Yeah,
West Springfield or somewhere around there
yeah.
to make this viable. So
I mean, are we talking like someone, is it a lot of paperwork, computer work, or are we talking like in the field?
I think that's a conversation I need to have
Yeah.
with Dick, because there certainly is a lot of, I know he's always said there's a lot of filing type
Yeah.
stuff that he could use a hand with.
So if that's the case, then it wouldn't be as bad.
Right, so I think finding the right balance of how often they need to be here.
Sure.
So yeah, so
Okay.
that's gonna be a conversation. I'm gonna have a call with the town administrator in Hamden and Ira next week.
Okay.
And I gotta connect with Dick Gates. And
They're probably like Blanford. He was saying the same thing over there.
That is? That's right. So, yeah, so anyway, but positive news nonetheless.
Yeah, that's great.
Work out the details. And then I wanted to just mention, I submitted an application to update what's called our local hazard mitigation plan.
Yep,
We had one of these in 2016. It went out of date in 2021, I think,
Okay.
yeah, 2021. Hopefully, speaking with MEMA, they said, well, this is, if you want to fund, for example, that town hall electrical engineering work, this is kind of the way to do
Part of
it.
the
Is
process,
have this
okay.
be in your plan so you can point to it when you're applying for funding.
okay,
So I think it's largely going to just be an update of what we
What we
already have.
yes,
It's not like the hazards have changed.
Yeah.
We're still up in the hills and it's mostly
Okay.
about snow and wind, et cetera, but so more to come on that front.
okay, great. Town clerk, did you wanna,
Oh,
Go now?
sure. Thank you.
Mhm.
Just by way of information, we've decided we are opting out of in-person early voting for the local election.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be an option, but we're not gonna do it. We've already got over 100 applications for early by mail ballots.
Mhm.
And to that end, also, we would like to ask the board if we will vote to approve changing the election hours from 10 to 2 instead of 10 to 4, because we're not gonna have that big a turnout.
Is it on a weekend?
Saturday, yeah, we've done that the past couple of years, and
Yeah.
117 already requested mail-in early ballots.
Now, the reason for not doing the early in-person voting is cost, is that? What you
It
guys?
costs, yeah,
Okay,
and again, we've got the mail-in, we're
Mhm.
covered. And
Mhm.
we're not obligated by the state
To do
to
both.
have in-person voting. We are obligated to have early in-person voting for
First.
the primaries
And
and
the- yeah.
the big elections.
I'm only hesitant to do, cancel that and to reduce the hours. I just feel like we're limiting. I would rather do the opposite. Do you know what I mean? Like if we're canceling in-person early voting, which is fine, I get it, but then also cutting 2 hours off of the in-person on the day of. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I'm confused. The mail-in, so you're mailing ballots out as people request them?
Yep.
And then they
Well,
mail
we
them
haven't
back?
got the ballot yet because we haven't come to the end of the nomination process.
She's just saying that the actual early in-person, they're looking to not do. Because they have the mail-in, so that is covering us.
We
For
went
early
to
voting.
a town clerk's meeting this morning, and of all our nearby rural communities, the town of Egremont is the only community who is doing in-person early
Early.
voting
Mhm.
for their local election.
So we'll have the voting on Saturday, but not someone coming in during the week having
Right.
the early voting
Yeah.
hours.
Yep,
So then the
Now,
question,
please explain to me, because I'm rather thick and I get confused. And mail-in and absentee,
Same.
they're the same thing,
Yep.
so. Why don't we just call it absentee voting?
TJ, this is where I'm gonna tell you.
Because absentee voting requires an excuse. Early voting by mail does not require an excuse. All you have to do is say to me, I want an early ballot.
Okay,
So are you guys okay with going from 10 to 2 or 10 to 4 to 10 to 2?
Tend to think so, but the cost now,
What do you think, TJ?
it's not a big election, so
Yeah.
we'd be fine.
yeah, 10 to 2 is fine with me.
Okay, is there a motion?
Make a motion that we change it from 10 to 4 to 10 to 2 for early voting, I mean, for voting.
Second,
Second,
any discussion? All in favor?
I,
I would say nay.
You to,
Okay.
also, we ran into a problem.
Sorry, yeah.
Is there a clarification on this? Is this only gonna be for this voting?
But for this,
For this-
yeah.
So this one.
Coming
So
local
why
election,
was there change the voting hours for,
upcoming local election.
June 23 election,
thank you,
June 2023 local election.
thank you.
We ran into a problem with posting for a special town meeting. And what we would like to have the board do is appoint Doris as constable solely for the purpose of being able to post meetings.
Is that legal at the town clerk?
Yep.
What about all that stuff with the lawyer letter and all that stuff she's gotta do? Be constable, she needs like a letter from a lawyer. That says,
Oh,
remember, there's like a whole lot of stuff. It's not just us appointing.
okay. We'll have to ask town council.
Yeah,
if
that,
there's-
cause
but all for the sole purpose of being
I un-
able to
yeah, I
post a
understand.
meeting. I don't know that we have to.
I
jump through all
understand.
those hoops. Don't know. Thank you. I'd forgotten about.
Yeah, there are just a few more things.
that. Okay, so. Council.
All right, there's
One
probably
more.
an email somewhere with all the, go ahead.
Okay, one last thing. We would like the board to appoint Sue Racine as the election warden. We have Jennifer as the deputy warden,
Mhm.
which is wonderful. But she was not able to make the special town meeting. So this will give us backup, and if one or the other can't make an
Okay.
election or another town meeting.
Is there a term or?
I just looked at it and I did not find a term.
Okay,
I might be
Let's
able to
say
help.
annual.
I might be able to
I
help.
feel like it's a year. right?
So
That should be.
should we just
Town
to get the
meeting.
appointment papers together and put it on the next agenda for this?
We can't appoint her now and then do the paperwork,
Yeah,
or
I guess so. I don't know. That's
whatever you
that's
wanna
up to
do,
them.
just so long as it's
We
done.
don't have any of this on the agenda, so.
What?
Maybe we don't have any of this on the agenda.
So we wait?
I think it's a year. I think we do it yearly when we do all the appointments. But your appointments are separate, right? Your town clerk appointments are something
Mm-mm.
separate.
Town
No,
clerk Celeste and the
same.
town clerk appoints me, so.
okay. You guys fine with that? Motion to appoint Sue Racine as election warden, for the term of 1 year.
Yeah.
Is there a second?
second,
On discussion? All in favor? Aye,
I,
Thank you.
all right.
Can we back up a minute, please?
Yes,
She should expire June 30th.
Yes.
yeah,
And
sorry.
then, and
Yeah.
then do more paper, another
Yeah,
approval after that. All right, thank you.
Following year.
sorry, thank you, Joanne, I appreciate it. Christopher, do we have anything from highway?
No, they didn't have anything. I checked
Okay.
in with him last week, but
Quiet week?
he's
Okay.
busy trying to get quotes for. Helping out with the parking lot in the post office. And
Yeah.
doing some lines in the library.
Okay,
So.
cool. All right, action items, we have review and act on warrant 19, which is here. So we can, if you guys want to each take one and take a look through it, this one looks like it's the water, yep, that's water. Here is payroll. And then this is regular. Oh no, this is, no. This one's payroll. That one's bills.
I see that now.
Thank you. All right, motion to approve warrant number 19. Is there a second?
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor?
aye,
Aye, here TJ, that's the last one for you. All right. PVPC financial invoice number 21 for payments. This is in the amount of $2,381.64. This is for, we always say, what is this for? The community assistance program. Make a motion. Is there a second?
second,
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. When do you need me to slow that down and say it?
You didn't say anything.
I didn't say much. But you know what I meant.
I know what's written there.
All right, now we have, looking at the 3-year service agreement with the Super Signs, changing environments, Super Signs. For the solar powered, digital sign in the amount of 20,000, of which, do you want to explain where all the,
Yeah, unfortunately, we're gonna have to table it because
Table that one,
I
okay.
don't have anything back from town council yet. So
oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so motion to table that until next week. Is there a second?
Oh, second, I
Any discussion?
was making notes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next up, we're going to review and act on Conway School for Landscape Design, proposal for student project Shepherd Farm. With the initial fee of $6,000. I would make a motion to discuss. Is there a second?
second,
All right, do you want to update us? Kristen?
Yeah, sure. So, we had talked about an initial fee of $17,000 total from the school. I talked to the Historical Commission and the Conservation Commission about, helping to cover that cost.
Mhm.
Ultimately, the Historical Commission met last week. They decided they did not want to participate, at least provide any funding towards it.
Okay,
I spoke with the Conway School, they lowered their fee a little bit. So now we're looking at $12,000.
Okay.
With an initial fee just of $6,000.
okay,
So that's where we're at. At this point. My perspective is, we need to move forward with something at that site.
yeah,
That building is, it's a concern.
yeah,
I hope so.
My thought is to move forward with this, meet with the students in the next couple of weeks and start rolling on a project.
So
for
what
that
are
site.
we getting for $6,000? To do this? I mean, is this? I think the majority of people think it's time for that thing to come down. So we don't have any liabilities there. So what is this for a trail or something?
Yeah, it's to plan what would go there basically instead. So a trailhead, and then also if you talk to Dick Gates, so there are kind of like rough trails throughout that property. There's also farm dumps and things like that scattered throughout. So the idea would be to kind of do some planning around what would that trail system look like?
mhm,
What would the trailhead look like? And then what I was kind of hoping to do is also get a vision for how, hey, we have all this history at the site. Shannon Walsh from PVPC did a great job documenting it. How can we still kind of preserve some of that, show some of that? I don't know if it's signage about the history. I don't know exactly what it will be. I'm kind of hoping this student can come up with a
Something,
vision
yeah.
for it. But something like that. So to me, this is mostly about creating kind of a vision that everyone can look to, so we can move forward with the
Does
site.
this involve anything to do with the building, the house?
No,
I don't
No,
think so,
just
mostly the grounds.
mostly the grounds.
At this point, just the grounds, yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I think we've been talking for a while about what do we do, what do we do? This could help us to give, give
yeah.
us
if
some
we can
ideas.
Come to a
That was-
conclusion here.
Yeah. Linda, question?
Yes, the historical commission just didn't, not decide to use the money for that. The money that the historical commission has is for inventory, and
Okay.
as we get more inventory done in the town is gonna be able to apply for more grants, so it wasn't just that we didn't wanna participate.
Okay,
That's why we wanna keep our 5,000, because that pays Shannon to do the inventory here in town. which
okay,
Will aid with Chris getting grants in the future.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean to take the words out of your mouth. So that's,
In.
that's right, that's not, yeah. Yeah, no, so I totally understand that perspective.
okay. Okay. And do we have a contract with them or?
Yeah, I'm still working with them and town council to get something together. so.
Okay, should we wait and vote on it until we have that in front of us?
you get it checked, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
yeah, I can
Like,
get you something, yeah.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I have another.
yes, go ahead, Linda.
Have we looked into, I keep hearing destroy the house, tear the house down. If we looked into what it's going to cost to demolish it, do we have any idea about that?
No, we haven't, this is the only thing that is like happening with Shepherd Farm right now, is just this small piece of, you know.
I will say, so I submitted an expression of interest to the underutilized properties fund
Yeah,
that One Stop for Growth has. We'll see what they say about the application, but in there, I talked a little bit about, figuring out how to remove the building or
Mhm.
something. So
Yeah, okay.
hopefully, if that was able to move forward, then we could maybe get some cost estimates for demolition, et cetera.
Do we know if there's anything left in that building or what's outside of a hole in the roof and,
foundation falling in.
well, that's part of it, I guess.
I'm sure there's some asbestos in that. That's what scares the heck out of me.
Well, and some lead paint, I would.
I'm sure. So have that abated is probably $20,000 to $40,000. And you probably got tear down and demolition, you probably got another 30 to 50, depending on what, that's just being around it enough to see it. So, and I could be low or high, I don't know, but
Well, it's not illegal to burn a house down, just can't burn the barn.
So I would make a motion to table this until next
Yes.
week.
I
Second,
did.
all in favor? Aye. All right, and then we have, I know Christopher, you talked last week about the contract with, current Kinsher and
Yeah.
that, it's, so you brought it down to 33,000.
Yeah,
So I would make, a motion to, have we had that looked at by town council?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd make a motion to approve the contract amendment for fiscal year 2024 accounting services with Eric Kernsher in the amount of $33,000.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unfinished, we have the letter, that we signed, all three of us signed it, to send out. So I don't think we need a motion on that.
No.
Question, Mary?
No, just some information. I spoke with one of the residents of Maple Lane. And this is an annual event and they're aware of it. And every year in the spring, they have to redo the road so that it will be usable. And the town can plow it out again in the winter time. But the main source of the problem is the water that goes down the gully and out from the park, the lower end of the park, to Maple Lane.
Hmm.
And there's a big flow of water there. And until that's corrected or ameliorated somehow, they're always gonna have the problem, but it's an ongoing issue. And just because this is Dave's first year, he probably had no idea that they do this every year. They have
Yeah.
somebody come in,
Okay,
resurface and grade, and then they're good. for
so the
another spring.
letter just explains that, for them to meet with Dave and just have that
Okay.
conversation, and so they should clear it up.
Now, all that water that comes from Watson Park
Right there.
comes down and it goes into this trench behind us. And that trench goes
Goes that
over
way and it goes out to.
Maple Lane.
All right, I think we're good. We can adjourn at 6:25. Nice job. Kudos to us.
You don't want to do the expenditure report?
No.
Okay.
It's too late. That boat is sailed. Wonder if my children made me dinner.
You did, you dream it. See you guys, have a good night.
Bye, guys.
We're done?
We're done.
I get,
Bam.
wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Pause.
Are you gonna be able to send the,
What did I do? I just hit pause and I recorded. Yeah.
Cemetery.
okay, send us a.
Did I do something like that?
I gotta see, I got,
Oh, you're good, thank you.
still, I still got
Is this
the,
Joanne?
bids will come in for, they would do that.
That's the perfect.
They will do that.